Hi, in this video we'll learn all about adjectives. Basically we'll learn what are adjectives, whom do they modify, what are their functions, and what are the restrictions applied on them. We have been learning since our childhood that adjectives are nothing but describing words. So let's see the definition. An adjective is a word used to add something to the meaning of a noun, pronoun, or gerund. We'll begin with a small exercise. As you can see, there are a couple of sentences mentioned here. You need to mark the adjectives in these sentences. So you can just pause the video, take a couple of minutes and do this small exercise. Without further ado, I'll just give you the answers. You can cross check your answers here. In the first one it is, he is a brave boy. Brave is the adjective. There are 20 boys in this class. 20. She is an intelligent student. Intelligent. There are 30 girls on the dance floor. 30. Dance. This is his pen. His. This pen is his. This. You are beautiful. Beautiful. Poor hunting resulted in no catch. Poor and no. Because this is a very important example, we'll come and discuss this example in detail. Let's dig in deeper. Adjectives can be broadly classified under two headings: descriptive and determiners. Determiners are also sometimes called quantifiers. Descriptive and determiners can also be further split into 2 or 3 categories. Let's see how. Depending on where the adjective is placed, descriptive adjectives can be classified under attributive and predicative adjectives. Let's see a couple of examples, then you'll be able to understand it better. Vincent is handsome. Here you can see handsome is modifying Vincent and it is placed to the right hand side of Vincent. A beautiful lady married Sheldon. So here lady is the noun, beautiful is the adjective which is modifying lady. So in this case you can see beautiful, the adjective, is placed to the left hand side of the noun. In the first case it is to the right hand side of the noun. An old man met with an accident. Once again man is the noun and old is modifying man and it is placed to the left hand side of man. In the next sentence, Manmohan is old. In this case, old is the adjective which is modifying Manmohan. Now you can see, depending on the placement of the adjective to the left hand side of the noun or the pronoun or the word which it is trying to modify, it can be categorized into attributive or predicative case. We'll study attributive and predicative case in detail shortly. Meanwhile, you can just remember that descriptive adjectives can be categorized in 2 different headings. Let's move on to the next segment, that is determiners. Determiners can be of 3 types: of identity, possession and quantity. When we talk of determiners of possession, we often talk of something which is possessed by somebody. For example, let's see, his car is black. In this case, his is the determiner which is restricting the possession of car. Whose car is it? It is his car. So his is modifying car. Whose car? His car. So his is acting as an determiner of possession. Your house is very clean. Here again you can see your is the determiner. My wallet has been stolen. Here my is acting as the determiner of possession. When we study determiner of identity, the determiner tries to identify with a particular substance. This bike met with an accident. So it is trying to make it clear, or it is trying to specify which bike met with an accident. It is this bike which met with an accident, not that bike. Similarly, these boys are very intelligent. So these is modifying boys here. So it is the determiner of identity. So if we write it in this fashion, class A boys are very intelligent. So it is very clear that here class A is modifying boys. So which boys are very intelligent? Class A boys are very intelligent. So if we replace class A by these, it becomes crystal clear that these boys are very intelligent. So these is acting as an adjective. Those girls know nothing. In the same fashion, those is the adjective here, or you can also say determiner of identity. This pen is red. Here you can see once again this is trying to identify which pen is red. This particular pen is red. It is trying to specify that particular pen which is red. Now we move on to the third category, which is the determiner of quantity. The determiner of quantity tries to tell us about the quantity of the noun or the pronoun or the object we are trying to modify. So you can see 10 pens were stolen. In this case, 10 is the modifier which is modifying pens. How many pens were stolen? 10 pens were stolen. So it is acting as a quantifier. No boy knows her. Here the quantifier is no. How many boys know her? No boy knows her. That means no is telling about how many boys know her. So here it is behaving as the determiner of quantity. Few boys are very naughty. Once again, few is modifying boys and it is telling about the quantity of boys. You can also make a note that a, an and the are also determiners because they restrict the noun they modify. For instance, a boy is telling about one particular boy. An apple, the elephant. So what we have learned so far is that articles, determiners and quantifiers precede and modify nouns. For example, the teacher, a college, a bit of honey, that person, those people, whatever purpose, either way, your choice. So in these cases you can see they are the determiners which modify the nouns and precede the nouns. Besides a and the, there are others also which fall into category of determiners such as his, your, their, whose, few, more, each, every, either, all, etc. You can note down a couple of rules for descriptive adjectives. A descriptive adjective can come before or after a noun. A determiner always comes before a noun, or a determiner is always followed by a noun. Other adjectives can come between a determiner and its noun referent. Let us rest for a while. In this sentence, can you tell me which part of speech does while belongs? I have just told you the rules. You can simply apply the rules and get the answer. A determiner always comes before a noun, or a determiner is always followed by a noun. So here you can see that a is the determiner, so it must come before a noun. So while is nothing but noun here. To clarify, you can just replace while with another word, for example second or minute. Then you'll be able to get a better grip of this concept. Let us rest for a minute, or let us rest for a second. Here second and minute both are behaving as noun. Similarly, while will also be a noun. Let's do a couple of more examples. His beautiful daughter got married last year. In this case, you can see his is the determiner of possession, and whatever follows the determiner, noun. So beautiful should be a noun, but this violates the third rule. But this is wrong because beautiful is not a noun here. It is an adjective which is modifying the noun daughter. So how can we justify this? How can we justify rule number 2? Now let's look into the rule number 3. Other adjectives can come between a determiner and its noun referent. So here daughter is noun and adjective beautiful is coming between the determiner and its noun referent. So as mentioned in rule number 3, an adjective can come in between the determiner and its noun referent. Let's go to next two examples. This car is his. This is his car. In these two examples you can see there is a subtle difference. This car is his and this is his car. Let us try to write the parts of speech for each of these words. This car is his. This is a determiner of identity which is modifying the noun car. Is is verb and his is pronoun. In the next case, this is his car. Here this is behaving as pronoun, is verb and his is behaving as a determiner of possession, and car is the noun. Here his is modifying nothing but the noun car. So you need to be very cautious about the usage of pronouns and determiner of identity. Determiner of identity can behave as pronoun as well as an adjective. So you need to be very cautious while marking parts. Hope I have made myself clear here about determiners. Let's move on to the next category and see in depth what are different kinds of descriptive adjectives. As mentioned earlier, descriptive adjectives can be further classified as attributive adjectives or predicative adjectives. Adjectives which precede the noun they modify are usually referred to as attributive adjectives. Heavy rain is expected. Heavy is modifying the noun rain and it is coming before the noun. We saw white swans on the river. White is the adjective modifying swans. It is possible for a noun to be preceded by many different types of attributive adjectives. Please note this. It is feasible to have many adjectives before a particular noun. At the same time, you should remember that adjectives do not modify verbs and adjectives do not modify adverbs. But sometimes they behave as adverbs. When many different types of attributive adjectives are placed before the noun, they are called ordinal adjectives, such as next, last, first, second, third are sometimes referred as ordinal adjectives, and they indicate the order in which things occur. So let's see a small example. Let's write it down. So here we go. 2 large red cardboard milk cartons are kept there. Now you can see in this example a cardinal number. Large is an adjective indicating size, red is an adjective indicating color, cardboard is an adjective indicating a type of material, and milk is a defining adjective indicating purpose. But all of them are modifying cartons. So hope it is clear to you what are ordinal adjectives. Let's see the next 2 examples and try to see the difference in their meanings, what they intend to convey. The second unpredictable year, the unpredictable second year. If you see carefully, these 2 words have been exchanged in the second sentence. The second unpredictable year and the unpredictable second year. So if you try to comprehend it cautiously, you'll realize that there is a subtle difference and they are not meaning the same things. The second unpredictable year, it means that there may have been more than one previous years. The phrase refers to the second year which was unpredictable. In the second example, in the phrase the unpredictable second year, the adjective second modifies only the noun year. This means that there was only one previous year. The phrase refers to the second year, indicating that this year was unpredictable. So there is a difference between the meaning of these 2 sentences. So I hope that it is clear to you. So as illustrated in these examples, the position of these ordinal adjectives vary, and depending upon their placement, they convey different meanings. So you need to keep this observation in mind. Let's move on to the next category of adjective, predicative adjectives. They are separated from their noun and they are put to the right hand side of the noun. The horse is black. Here black is the adjective which is telling us more about horse. The streets are long and narrow. Long, narrow. It is large, heavy and awkward. So what is large, heavy and awkward? All these 3 words are modifying it. Here long and narrow both are modifying streets. In all 3 examples, the adjectives are placed to the right hand side of the noun or the pronoun. These predicative adjectives can also be written in the other format, that is attributive adjectives, but you need to proceed with the completion of the sentence. As you can see here, the boat is afloat, the floating boat. We need to write something ahead of this. The child is afraid, the frightened child. The sky is aglow, the glowing sky. The animal is alive, the live animal. The boy is asleep, the sleeping boy. Let's go ahead and learn a little more about adjectival phrases and clauses and how an entire phrase or a clause can behave as a modifier or an adjective for a particular noun or a pronoun. If you have not gone through the phrases and clauses video, you can go through them, and as well as you can go through the video on gerunds and participles. I have discussed these things in elaborate format in those videos also. So let's see the examples and the definitions. Nouns and pronouns can be modified not only by adjectives but also by adjectival phrases and clauses, such as the table near the door is made of oak. Here the noun table is being modified by the phrase near the door. So which particular table? The one near the door is made of oak. Similarly, the one on the desk is mine. In the next example, you can see the pronoun one is being modified here by on the desk. The one on the desk is mine. In the third example, the chair is being modified by the modifier which was placed in front of the window. We'll study about these kind of modifiers in detail when we are going through participles and modifiers chapter. These are called non-essential middle modifiers separated by commas. In the last sentence, you can see those is being modified by who decided to come. Those who decided to come will not be disappointed. Let's move on to the next and important category of adjectives which are produced by participles. As has already been mentioned, present and past participles of verbs can be used as adjectives. How they can be used? You can go through the video on gerunds and participles. I have discussed in a lot more detail there. Here we'll just see a couple of examples. The falling star. Falling is the present participle which is modifying star. Barking dog. Barking is modifying dog. The scattered leaves. Scattered is modifying leaves. The broken drum. Broken is modifying drum. Feeling hungry. The child ate the apple. So feeling hungry is modifying The child who is feeling hungry, the child is feeling hungry. So this is the opening modifier introduced by present participle. I hope that I have been able to give you an overview of adjectives and how they can be used in different dimensions. There are a couple of more videos you can go through in order to get a proper grip on adjectives and modifiers. They are namely gerunds and participles and modifiers chapter entirely focused on adjectives. Do go through those videos. Thanks a lot.